Hey, it is official, and I promise this is going to change everything moving forward. America will never be the same, guys. Mark my words. President Trump will be going against Elon Musk, the richest man in the world's new political party called the America Party. We have all the details, all the breakdown. Guys, the FEC filing is already in place. Things are moving very, very fast, and this is going to affect you. It's going to affect your savings, retirement, 401k, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. It's going to affect everything with what Elon Musk is planning to do. This is the biggest, boldest play backed by the richest guy in the world, over $400 billion, guys, almost $500 billion in net worth. This is going to change everything. Trump is not happy about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because not only is Trump going to be going against in the midterms, it's going to be the Republicans versus the Democrats versus the America Party. Who do you stand with? Let me know your thoughts. I promise you, when you listen to all the details, you might have a change of mind. And also, there are strategic things going on because, remember, Elon Musk did back Trump, but Trump is now coming out swinging with another huge America First policy, guys. Trump is not stopping. All the while, Trump is now pushing a new massive legislation is that he wants in the next big bill that they pass is to eliminate taxes for anyone who makes less than $150,000 a year. This would save people upwards of almost $28,000 a year in federal taxes. This is a massive guarantee that Trump would win the midterms in a red wave, big time victory. But now he has Elon Musk to face with in his new party. Elon Musk has now stated he wants 3 Senate seats, 10 House seats, and he will make sure that no more additional spending happens under his watch. The FEC filing is now done, guys, and this is huge. We also have, guys, remember, just because the big beautiful bill is passed, things are not slowing down. The Trump administration has just launched the first national citizenship verification system to help ensure only U.S. citizens vote. This will be carried out by DHS and Social Security. State officials can now verify and authenticate citizenship with voter rolls through the DHS system and Social Security databases before elections. There is a new mandate that is coming with this new executive order to make sure that only U.S. citizens will be voting. The biggest fight again, too, guys, is we are winning the economy. We had White House economic advisor Hassett say there is 0 chance of recession. We also have it again, too, guys, with the new America Party. The biggest things that we are going to see moving forward, because Elon Musk is throwing his billions of dollars behind this new America Party. Elon says that he wants to reduce debt and only allow responsible spending, modernize the military with AI and robotics, push hard on AI to win the tech race, cut regulations across the board, protect free speech, support pro-nationalism to raise birth rates. And remember, guys, he's not trying to win over 40, 50 seats. He's only trying to win enough seats to stop spending. So with this, guys, so much is going on, so much breaking news. Let me know where your head is at, because again, never has there been anybody with as much influence. He owns X platform. He has all the money in the world to do all the ads and sway these elections to get seats. He can either take seats from MAGA or he can take it from Democrats, guys. And now that this is 100% official, the FEC filing is already done. We're going to show you all the details in a moment. Things are about to change like never before, and it's going to affect everything from Social Security to Medicare to Medicaid to all your taxes, guys, to all the national spending. Things are never going to be the same now. Elon Musk said if it's the last thing he does, he's going to get this done. And you know this guy, he doesn't play around, just like Trump. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers, to all of our viewers. Guys, we got a big show for you today. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family so that we can serve you every day with the top news. We got so many receipts to bring to you today, and I promise you, we're going to show you things you will not see on mainstream media, guys. This is where we bring the truth, the receipts, we show you the facts. I want to say thank you to everybody that is a member of the channel. Guys, you continue support those that give super chat donations. These donations go to a local charity every single month. And we thank you so much because this month we're giving to a local children's home on the 22nd of the month. Want to give some love to Richard and Elaine Demeen. Show Elaine Demeen some love in the chat. Show Richard some love in the chat, as well as Denise Clark Custom Art, guys. Show them some love in the chat. If you don't mind us doing a huge favor for us of hitting that thumbs up like button. We got a big show for you today, guys. Again, this is a completely official. The New America Party is alive. It is backed by the richest person in the world who has said he's going to change our midterm elections, and it's going to happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because America is worth fighting for, guys. Everything about America. Listen to this because things are about to change.
Without today, everything we know as it is wouldn't exist. We literally, as Americans, created this by our own awesomeness in defiance of tyranny. We were the greatest experiment in what happens when you unleash the human mind with limited government and maximum freedom.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth.
You know why no one can touch us? Because unlike most countries, we were the underdog that came out on top. We were outgunned, outmanned, and outfunded by the world's most powerful military and government, and we won. We are a hard nation because we were forged in conflict, not compromise. On today, 1776, a bunch of dudes with toxic masculinity got fed up with being ruled and taxed. They got together and they wrote the greatest declaration of war with the goal of independence. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British crown. And it was on. And they knew it was only treason if they lost. The first act of America was to be winners, and they bet their life on it.
Guys, and again, this stuff I'm telling you, that I'm showing you guys, Trump is betting everything on what's about to happen, and you're seeing it right here, guys. I told you, we bring you the receipts. We make sure that everything that we're showing you guys, you're going to see it firsthand here before you see it on any other place, and it's going to change America forever. President Donald Trump wants to eliminate taxes for anyone who makes less than $150,000 a year. This is the life-changing, putting everybody as a winner. If you made $150,000 you and your spouse, you would save almost $28,000 a year. And again, too, everybody saves money, guys. This is the game changer of what is about to come to the United States, of putting money back into the Americans' pockets. It's something that Trump is betting everything on in this next huge big bill. This is worth fighting for.
Thank God every day they did. Look, our founding fathers, they knew the risks. They knew what could happen and did it anyway. Many of these guys were younger than me. I mean, John Adams, 40. John Hancock, 39. Thomas Jefferson was 33. Thomas Lynch, 26. Benjamin Rush, 30. Edward Rutledge, 26, and a ton more, not much older. And then they did what no other politician does today after they signed that document. They went and fought their own war that they declared because they believed in it. Benjamin Franklin was 70 years old when he signed it. He had gout and a number of other ailments, who took a months-long boat ride to go over to France to beg for guns, cannons, and supplies we needed to send the British and their tea packing back across the ocean. He almost died of illness multiple times, but he got the guns we needed. Failure was not on the table. They had a dream called America. But that dream now is being tested. We're allowing people who hate America to define what that dream should be. We cannot let that happen. I won't. You can't let that happen either.
Guys, let me know if you're proud to be an American, guys, because I'm telling you, what I'm about to show you next, the shakeup is coming like never before.
That dream disappears if we don't speak up, if we don't stand and hold the line. Like I tell my kids all the time, take a stand and I will back you with my life. Because that's how you save this dream we get to live, man. Because the alternative is the exact tyranny that we had to cross a frozen river barefoot on Christmas to break away from. If you hate guns, you would have sided with the British rule. If you reported your neighbor for their party during COVID, you are Benedict Arnold. And you can go enjoy your purple hair with your vegan and your coexist sticker on your Prius. I'll take my guts and my guns and my Bible. Thank you very much. But if you stood up and said, no, I won't mask, I won't vax, I won't isolate myself until every last drop of testosterone leaves my body, then you, brothers and sisters, you are my kind of Americans. And that's what it takes to save the experiment that we got to be a party of.
Guys, and I'm telling you, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this right here is the receipts, guys. We're showing you everything. This is what Elon Musk has officially filed the paperwork to launch the America Party. This is the official FEC form filing. Number 1, America Party. Look at this. The people who are the designated agents, the banks or depositories. This is all 100% legitimate, guys. This is all coming from Elon Musk himself. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, has now fully filed with the Federal Election Commission to now host the new America Party. This means Elon can legally raise and spend money to support his potential run or political activities. 2026, guys, is going to be the biggest elections in our history. Bigger than 2024, guys, because now you have a third party that is going after, they say, the Uniparty, going after the establishment, the rhinos, the deep staters, and it is worth fighting for. I believe that they're going to somehow work it out. Elon Musk and Trump, let me know your thoughts in the comments to make sure that America keeps being put first, no more wasteful spending, and to make sure that Americans are taken care of. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
US of A. It ain't free. It's not just the enemy within, it's the enemies abroad. They want to hurt every family member you're celebrating with today. The majority of the world, allied or not, honestly, they sometimes hate us for our freedoms. And that right there, those rows of simple white stones, that's the cost of us to flip that burger today. Every single one of them was someone's family that left God's green earth for you. For us to have the closest thing to perfection in like the history of this rock in space. That's worth fighting for. That's my definition that's worth dying for. Low-flying eagles, fighter jets 100 feet off the deck, American flags flying high, rows of veterans saluting them while Ted Nugent rips the Star-Spangled Banner on an electric guitar so loud that car alarms are going off. Give me an IV of cowgirls wearing American flag shirts, riding horses, waving red, white, and blue flags on 10-foot flagpoles while barrel racing. I want unapologetic nationalism. I love America beating Canada in hockey. Cowboys wrestling bulls with fireworks in the background and crowds chanting USA. Homers cracking off a wooden bat being bombed into the glove of a cheering kid out in left field eating a hot dog. Give me testosterone, give me cigars, and heavy back squats, and chest day every day. A beer funnel, and Chuck Norris roundhouse kicking a bad guy just for the hell of it. We made sure that you can say whatever you want in this country. And then we gave you guns. We made sure you have the right to have guns so no one can tell you to shut up. My America has engines so big, rolling so much coal that it blows the European mind because we don't care what a kilometer is. Because we put 12 inches on a foot, 3 feet in a yard, and 5,280 feet in a mile because we could. And then we called it the standard system. And you know what? No one challenged us because we're a bunch of winners. Because the last time someone did, we sent them and their team back across the Atlantic. We invented a portable sun during the other time they challenged us and turned 2 cities into parking lots. And when they threatened us over in Iraq, we rolled over the world's 5th largest army in Saddam's in 4 days. And then we barbecued over the ashes. And even the worst of the worst know that if you want to pick a fight, me and my boys, we're going to visit you in the middle of the night and arrange a meeting with your creator. Because the nutritional facts of my country are 100% freedom. Back-to-back World War champs. Apple pie and the sun setting behind Old Glory, and it is beautiful.
Guys, oh, that makes me just fired up, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I love America, and I'm telling you, things are about to change. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is, again, more details over what Elon Musk is about to do in America. And again, he has the freedom to do it. Lay Lewis, thank you so much for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. Let's go. If you got a free membership from Lay, show her some love in the chat. Guys, such amazing givers. Show Denise Clark Custom Art some love as well, too. Elon Musk says he doesn't want to run the government. He wants to force it to listen by flipping 2 to 3 seats in the Senate and 8 to 10 House races into a megaphone for the will of the public, guys. This is a big, big deal. The details, again, we showed you the FEC filing. We showed you that right now, nothing is stopping him and nothing essentially can stop Elon Musk from doing this right here. He says that on the key issues for the New America Party, he wants to reduce debt, only allow responsible spending, modernize the military with AI and robotics, push hard on the AI to win the tech race, cut regulations across the board, protect free speech, support pro-nationalism to raise birth rates, guys, because again, too, the other thing, we're fighting a lot of people that coming into America and they hate America. That's why, again, too, Trump just launched this right here. The Trump administration has launched the first national citizenship verification system to help ensure only U.S. citizens vote. State officials can now check entire voter rolls against DHS and Social Security data before elections. Guys, this is the game changer we've been waiting for. Trump signed the executive order, he won it in the Supreme Court, and now we're about to see the biggest changes ever, but it's not going to stop these left-wing rogue judges from trying to fight against Trump and against everybody that's trying to put Americans first when it comes to our immigration policies, guys. Listen to this because this is insane what's going on.
Steve Cortez, yesterday, and I'm trying to get Julie Kelly on here. We had Mike Davis yesterday, a judge, and this folks, the economics here and the politics and the geopolitics are all inextricably linked. You know, Jillian Ted had that great piece in the Financial Times we talked about a couple weeks ago, where she said, hey, nowadays it's called geoeconomics. You got to look at the geopolitics, the national security, the foreign policy, but it's also tied with domestic policy and it's tied with things like the big beautiful bill. The judicial insurrection to thwart President Trump's policies, because remember, $170 billion, and I want this to burn into your soul for the audience, $170 billion in this program. Is essentially for ICE, for securing the border permanently, and also for the removal of 10 to 20 million illegal alien invaders. And this is just the start. That didn't include, this is not paying for all of them. But that is what Biden and his regime did to the country. And the reason they did to the country, you see in New York City, you see in LA, you see in Chicago. That's the America they want. If you want the America that is returned to her former greatness, make America great again, this is going to be a fight.
Yes.
Just don't think, oh, you got a great slogan. You control the House and the Senate. Fine, do what you want to do. This is a fight. Where we had a massive win in the House's legislation is massive, and covering so many different things. The courts yesterday, after the Supreme Court ruled at the first chance a federal sitting judge in D.C. had a chance, he designated all the amnesty breakers, 10 or 20 million of them, as a class. And he says, guess what? Screw Trump. They get to stay here until I, the judge, say otherwise. So, Steve, this fight, we're fighting on many fronts, but it's all for the same battle to restore America to her vitality and to her promise, sir.
Amen.
Guys, and again, I'm sorry, but I've got to give you the breaking news. It just literally came on just seconds ago, and I'm going to show you this in a moment. Elon Musk has said that his New America Party will not back a candidate for president in 2028, avoiding potential electoral disaster for Republicans in swing states. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. If you appreciate this truth, all this breaking news I'm giving to you guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys. Again, Elon Musk suggests and says that his New America Party will not back a candidate for president in 2028. This is also his move to target specific congressmen and senators, in which could give the GOP more votes for Trump. Guys, is this a strategic chess play that's going on, guys? I'm just like, I'm going crazy over here because everything is changing so much, but this is insane right here. Elon Musk suggests his new party will not back a candidate for president in 2028, avoiding potential electoral disaster for Republicans in swing states. Wow. This is huge, guys. We are going to see so much change coming, but again, we're still fighting the crazy left-wing judges, and you're about to hear what's coming next, guys, because things are changing like never before, and I'm so happy for it because it's all America First policies.
To restore our prosperity, our sovereignty, and our vitality as a nation. And by the way, to that point you made too about President Trump whipping votes in the middle of the night, what a wonderful contrast to sleepy Joe Biden. He was whipping votes in the middle of the night, and he posted this morning that he is right as we speak on the phone with Vladimir Putin, trying to solve the crisis in Ukraine. So that is the kind of workhorse that President Trump is working on behalf of the American people, not taking holiday yet for July 4th, constantly working. And to your point here about these judicial tyrants, right? These unelected despots in black robes who think that they can thwart the will of the American people, who elected Donald Trump by winning every single swing state, plus the popular vote by millions of votes. They must be repelled. The Supreme Court thankfully started that process, but we've got to hasten that process. And you're exactly correct, not just because it's illogical and there's no precedent for it in legality, but because it's also a national security and economic imperative to get control of the sovereignty of the United States and to make sure that these illegal workers are expelled. Because as we're talking about, AI, huge positives and negatives. The positive is the productivity gains can be magnificent, and there's every reason to believe that they will be, and that this bill's bet on growth will work, at least in part, maybe large part, because of AI. But at the same time, we know already, at least in the early stages, AI is very destructive to certain classes of jobs. And because of that, it is more important than ever that the labor market of the United States is reserved for American citizens only. All of the illegals have to go.
Yes.
And I would also argue further, even the legal foreign workers have to start to go, because this job market must be reserved for the people of this country who are going to be celebrating our birthday tomorrow and getting into our glorious 250th year. So there are real tangible reasons to be incredibly optimistic. But to your point, Steve, also really significant obstacles in front of us, because the globalists and the ruling class of this country, they're not going to just hand us the keys of the car. They're not going to say, oh, congratulations, nice election last November. Here you go, have at it. That is clearly not happening. Remember, they tried to put Donald Trump in prison. They're willing to go to any means to try to keep their stranglehold among the American people and upon the American economy for their self-aggrandizement, to the detriment of the masses of American peoples. We have a very different vision, and we have a clear policy pathway, a realistic, achievable policy pathway to get there. Again, real wages are exploding right now. That's magnificent news for this country.
Let's go.
We can continue that, and we can accelerate that, but we've got to make the right policy choices, and immigration is an absolute linchpin of that policy agenda, Steve.
Guys, and I got to show you this, because again, too, this is like coming from Republican people who are pushing all this stuff out about the Democrats. Bill Clinton in 1995 stated that illegal immigrants put a strain on American taxpayers. Democrats didn't have a problem with it, guys. This is the actual video. So when you have Democrats that have completely flipped and are 100% aligned with kicking Americans down the road, that's where you got your president of the United States who says that he wants to eliminate taxes for anyone who makes less than $150,000 a year, guys. This is what we voted for. This is promises made, promises kept. He even said this on the campaign trail, guys. We are living in such history right now. Want to say thank you so much, Lay Lewis, for gifting another 5 True Life News, our Mr. Tracy J. Norby for gifting 10 True Life News memberships, guys. Let's go. If you got a free membership from Mr. Norby, show him some love in the chat, guys. Growing the True Life News family. And if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, we are living in history. Never has a president ever came out to say about eliminating taxes for anyone who makes under $150,000. How is he doing it? Well, he's cutting out the fraud, the waste, and the abuse. He's putting all the tariffs on all the countries, and he's putting America first, guys. This, I promise, will guarantee a red wave in the midterms. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
President Trump's on the phone with Putin this morning. Why is he on the phone with Putin? He's trying to end the kinetic part. And this is for all the Israel First and the Tel Aviv Levins and that entire crowd. The Third World War has started. It started a couple of years ago. The kinetic part of it. The Third World War actually started before that with the Chinese Communist Party coming after, starting in 2019, when because they understood the economy President Trump was building. They did the Lighthizer deal that we took 2 years to negotiate. They ripped up in our face and spit in our face, and then declared an economic war against us. The kinetic part has started. There are 2 million casualties in Ukraine. There's 1 million dead and wounded Russian soldiers, and there's 1 million dead and wounded, not just Ukrainian soldiers, but a ton of civilians, okay? And the numbers you hear publicly are always suppressed, as they were in any war. President Trump is trying to stop that. The major front, though, and he understands that, of this war was the invasion of the United States of America. And folks, if you think because of the activity we did in L.A. a couple weeks ago, it's over, you are so wrong. Chicago, we haven't been to. New York, you're about to have a radical jihadist and a communist, not a socialist, the Red-Green Alliance in all its glory is about to win in New York City and take control politically with the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, and the Working Families Party, which controlled the ground game there. Those folks on the ground game are every bit as good as the War Room Posse and the Precinct Strategy. And the Precinct Strategy, the War Room Posse, and other groups like that on ground game won the 2024 election for President Trump. That was President Trump's ground game. That was his army. That's what he won with, his most dedicated people. Well, they got him up there. This thing, the front that we fight here, and it's against a radical judiciary. This is not stopping. And it's who quits first is going to lose. We're not going to quit. Yeah. This is going to be relentless, and we're going to do through economic policy, political. I actually think because there's a report out today how the Chinese Communist Party are doubling down on the fentanyl and the chemical warfare attack through the Mexican cartels that take 50,000 people a year. And look, it's terrible that the Persians have killed 1,000 Americans since I was there in 1979 off the shore on the failed hostage rescue attempt. And including the Marines and the barracks in Lebanon, which is terrible. But they're killing 50,000 a year of our folks today, and it ain't abating. And so if you're going to do an attack, if we want to have a regime change, how about a regime change in Mexico, which is a narco state, starting with the cartels? I'm all down. If you want to have a regime change, hey, let's go south of the border and start with the Mexican government won't clean it up. We clean it up. Cortez, my point is, this is a multi-prong issue, and it's got to be we got a couple of minutes. Your thoughts?
You're making such a great point here. And again, this is a seamless garment, right? All of these issues are intertwined. So President Trump working diligently to try to solve this crisis in the Black Sea, which is not in the vital U.S. national security interest. However, we spent hundreds of billions of dollars there. So if Donald Trump can reach a solution there, and we'll see if Zelensky and Putin are willing, so far they don't seem like it, but if they are, that will be so massive, not just because we've achieved peace there, which is a great thing for both of those countries and for humanity, but in terms of back to the United States and back to our domestic situation and politics and economics, it means that we then take those resources and that attention and we focus it on the invasion at our border, right? And we can become even more secure and even more sovereign over our country, which means in turn that if we're going to have this productivity explosion, which seems to be beckoning in this country, that the benefits will flow to American citizens and not to foreign illegals and not even to foreign legal people who are working in the United States. But it is all linked. So achieving peace, for example, in the Black Sea has such benefits on Main Street USA to a lot of folks who may not pay any attention to what's going on in other parts of the world, but they sure know what's going on in their life. They know right now that gas prices are the lowest they have been in years. They know their wages are finally starting to go up, but they also know that after the pain of Bidenomics, that they're in a corner economically and they need help, working class people. And we on the right must speak to that. We must recognize it and then bring about tangible policies which improve their lives. And
guys, and that again, when we look at the big beautiful bill that just got passed and what you're about to see next, guys, again, things are not slowing down one bit. This new party, the America Party, which the official FEC filing for this brand new America Party literally has everybody on edge right now. Let me know your thoughts. This is the actual form, guys. We bring you the receipts. We're usually a day or 2 days ahead of the mainstream media, guys. So if you're not subscribed, If you haven't joined our family yet, hit that subscribe button so that we can serve you every day with the top news. This is the official filing for the Federal Election Committee for Elon Musk's New American Party. What does this mean? It means that Elon can legally raise and spend money to support his potential run or political activities, guys, whether it be the Senate, whether it be Congress, whether it be for governors, guys. This is insane. And what you're about to see next, guys, is that, again, Trump already has a huge list of people that he's got working on a lot of things, like the no property taxes for everybody across the United States. Anybody making under $150,000 a year doesn't pay any taxes. Those are the next big things that he's working on. The senior boost for those on Social Security, guys. All this stuff, if it adds any money to the national debt, will not pass with what Elon Musk is putting forth. He says he wants to stop all the additional spending, but I want you to see this first because somebody else is coming to fight on Trump's side. Let me know who you stand with.
President Trump celebrated the 4th of July by giving America, well, a big, beautiful birthday gift. He signed into law his signature legislation called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
This bill will fuel massive economic growth and lift up the hardworking citizens who make this country run. The factory workers, farmers, mechanics, waiters, waitresses, police officers, firefighters, coal miners. So you have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment in American history.
Yeah, Republicans claim 4 major components to this bill. Tax relief, they say, for working people and families. Spending cuts, they say, to steer our government budget towards solvency. Of course, a boost in defense spending to keep our military what they believe will be the strongest in the globe. And then a surge in funding, of course, for immigration laws and to secure our border, to include building a border wall. Joining us now is Congressman. Thank you for joining us. Real quick, explain to us how extending those Trump tax cuts and adding these new tax cuts, like the 3 years of Social Security deduction, tip deduction, and overtime deduction, explain how that's going to affect the Americans' pay.
Well, it's good to be with everybody this weekend. First of all, if you were going to have a soaring economy into the future, we had to keep Donald Trump's tax policy in place. If we'd let that lapse, America would have saw a 68% tax increase. That's what Democrats voted for the other day. They voted to raise taxes on every American, small business owners, middle-income Americans, working class Americans. So you got to keep taxes steady from where they've been the last 8 to 9 years. Number 2, the new stuff, no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. What that's going to do is help hardworking people in our country and seniors on fixed income, going to help them keep more money in their pocket. And what does that actually mean in the long run? That means they'll have more flexibility for their own spending decisions that they're going to make, which will then yield to more economic growth. If you have sound tax policy while also making sure people have more money in their pocket, as opposed to the government giving them checks or other subsidies, it will yield more economic growth in the future.
Congressman, always good to see you. Not a single Democrat voted for this law, remarkably claiming the Medicaid work requirements are a death sentence.
People will die. Tens of thousands.
People that I'm talking to that I represent, Pam, who don't know if they're going to survive, literally survive this.
People will die. This bill.
Remember, guys, remember what we showed you on the other yesterday's video, that there is a law in place that allows these congressional people to lie. They can legally lie to us and say whatever they want to say, and they cannot be sued. They can never be taken to court. It is literally in the law within Congress that Congress can lie and not be ever held accountable. So whenever we see these things, guys, I just want to bring you the full context because it was mind-blowing when we showed you that Thomas Massie showed us the statute, showed us the law that allows them to lie just like they're doing right now. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, again, it irritates me so much to hear them say this type of stuff when they didn't care about the millions of illegal people coming over, or the terrorists coming over, or all the gang members and criminals coming over and Americans lost their lives. You didn't hear them talking about that on Congress, but only whenever you touch their money that's whenever they get upset.
Is trickle down cruelty. and people will die because of it.
This bill is a deal with the devil.
Apparently, AOC's devil is a Democrat because in the past, a few of their presidents praised work requirements for welfare.
Our nation's answer to this great social challenge will no longer be a never-ending cycle of welfare. It will be the dignity, the power, and the ethic of work.
There is nothing shocking hidden in this bill. It's all been out there before. A block grant to the states, a 5-year time limit, work requirements.
The height of hypocrisy. Congressman, the requirement is just 80 hours of work a month for able-bodied adults, something a large majority of Americans and even 47% of Democrat voters support. So, what do you believe is the real reason that Democrats are opposed to this legislation?
The reason Democrats are opposed is because we're beginning the process of unwinding the massive expansion that started with Barack Obama and continued with not that Joe Biden that you just put up, but the last Joe Biden that everybody remembers. Those two presidents, they massively expanded not just Medicaid, but the welfare state overall. So all we're saying is if you're able-bodied, between the ages of 18 and 55, you have to work 20 hours a week. Just 20. And it's not even just work. It's work, going to find a job, volunteering, or going to school. That's what we said. So if the Democrats are going to go tell the American people that people having to either find a job or volunteer or go to school 20 hours a week means that they're going to die, once again, the Democrats are lying. It's simply not true. The other piece of this bill in Medicaid and also in SNAP is that we're going to stop these states, especially New York and California, from gaming the Medicaid system so that they can fund their budgets with federal money in order to give welfare and Medicaid to illegals. That's the other thing that we do in this bill. So they're lying because they didn't get their way. They don't want to tell the truth, because if they told the American people the truth, by polling, we know the American people vehemently disagree with the Democrats. But why are we surprised?
Congressman, let's talk for a moment about the $150 billion that's allocated to immigration enforcement in the law. Border crossings are down. They're sharply down in June. And these border crossings are the lowest since the 1960s. So what will this new funding really accomplish that the current funding doesn't?
What the new funding is going to go for is to get the 10 million illegals that Joe Biden let in, to get them out of the United States. Listen, we've had decades-long problems with illegal immigration in America, but what Joe Biden did the last 4 years was reprehensible. Our cities, our counties, our states cannot hold tens of millions of illegals. We simply can't. So the $150 billion, it sets up the logistical framework that Kristi Noem and Tom Homan need. Additional bed space, additional manpower, the logistical vehicles that are going to be needed to deport 10 million people out of the United States. And let's be clear, I know we are starting with criminal illegal aliens. Everybody wants to see that happen. But the people that came in the last 4 years, they have to go home. And if you talk to Kristi Noem and her team, there's a bunch of people who have decided to go home by themselves already. They decided to self-deport. We cannot keep them here. That money helps us put up the manpower and the logistics to send them back to their home.
And this is over many years, right? It's not an annual budgetary item for border enforcement. $150 billion.
That $150 billion is going to be for the entire mission over many years. You are correct.
Let's go. And guys, again, too, like this huge breaking news that's come out today over what's happening with Elon Musk and the New America Party, guys. Remember, the big beautiful bill is in law. It's gonna move forward and it's done with. But moving forward, when it comes to all the new initiatives that Trump is pushing for America, when it comes to his anybody making under $150,000 or less doesn't pay any taxes, no property taxes, the senior boost, Elon Musk suggests his New America Party will not back a candidate for president in 2028, avoiding potential electoral disasters for Republicans in swing states. This is only Musk has created this New America Party from the looks of it to only target congresspeople and senators. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, whether you support this or not. When we look at the polling, guys, the polling shows us of what you think about Elon Musk's new political party. Out of almost 1,800 votes, 86% say they support MAGA, 3% say they support more savings, 6% say Elon should be deported, 4% say good for America against the uniparty. Because again, too, guys, the one thing that's not getting said, and we show you everything and we tell you everything, guys, I never pull any punches, that they added more funding to our defense budget. So now it's essentially over $1 trillion of each year that we spend on our defense. They've never passed an audit. The defense of the United States has been able to spend money like nobody's business, and they've never passed an audit. So when we go back to where the money is going, that Trump, I feel like he took some hits, but for the most part, he just wanted to get the big beautiful bill signed because it brought about so much good things. But there's still a lot of corruption in there that I feel like a lot of people like Elon Musk and like Doge want to clean out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Lazy Gardener, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Y'all show the Lazy Gardener some love in the chat, guys. Because again, too, a lot of people are saying that we're fighting against the uniparty. Listen to this.
Yeah, also, this idea of having an independent political movement in this country, we have one. It's called Donald Trump. I mean, he is the head of the Republican Party, but in many ways, he's really our first independent president. I mean, he's not...
Tell that to the Republican Party.
He's not orthodox, but he has changed the orthodoxy of one major political party, and he sets the agenda of the other one. He is an independent political force, and yes, he sits atop it at one major party, but a lot of people came to him who had never voted or rarely voted, who don't consider themselves to be Republicans or Democrats. They just consider themselves to be common sense type folks. They were looking for something different. Trump was the answer to that.
Guys, again, that's what MAGA is, something different. But now Elon Musk says we need to take it a next step level. And what you're about to hear next, guys, because I'm telling you, the fight is so deep with the deep staters. Listen to this. And if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support.
The Communist Party that's trying to take us down. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you. And I would note one of the reasons why the left and the Chinese communists resort to litigation is because their ideas are incredibly unpopular when the American people vote on them. So, for example, in the United States Senate, every Senate Democrat voted in favor of the California waiver that would effectively ban the internal combustion engine in 18 states across the country. Every Senate Democrat voted in favor of it, but you know what? The citizens aren't voting in favor of it. They're not campaigning. We don't see our Democrat colleagues saying we're going to ban the internal combustion engine. Even in bright blue states, even in Vermont and Rhode Island, the voters are not saying take away the car out of my driveway. And yet, Democrat office holders are trying to use government power to fight the Democrat wishes of their electorate. General Kobach, let's talk about the courts. The Climate Judiciary Project, backed by the Environmental Law Institute, Energy Foundation, and private donors connected to plaintiffs' law firms, has trained over 2,000 judges, many in key jurisdictions where these climate cases are pending. Is it appropriate for sitting judges to receive climate science, quote-unquote, education from advocacy groups like the Environmental Law Institute, groups that are directly tied to the plaintiffs in active litigation?
No, Mr. Chairman, I do not believe it is any more than it would be appropriate for a group of justices to go on an extensive training conference and be trained in how to dispute or defend the fossil fuel industry. When you have a group of litigants in a pitched legal battle in approximately more than 3 dozen cases, if we're talking about more than just the ones brought by cities and counties, the judges are there to be neutral. And the worst thing I fear going into any case on any issue is if I know that the judge is already dug in based on prior things the judge has done or said against me. So, I don't think it's appropriate for litigants to be training the judges in essentially what their experts are going to say in the trial.
Mr. Chairman, may I respond to this as well?
No, because we got limited time. If someone else wants to get into it. General Kobach, isn't it true that... Actually, go ahead. Mr. Arkush?
Well, I just wanted to say that what Mr. Kobach is saying he opposes is exactly what's happening from the defense side as well. The Environmental Law Institute has multiple oil companies on its board, executives of oil companies, BP and Shell, and it has counsel representing them in court in important leadership positions.
So we may be breaking news here. Are you on behalf of Public Citizen calling for the Environmental Law Institute to stop training judges and indoctrinating judges?
What I'm saying is it doesn't make any sense to say that they're indoctrinating judges as some sort of leftist plot.
Okay, let's be clear.
against the oil companies.
I'm calling for them to stop training judges because I think they are indoctrinating them. It's interesting you said that, but you weren't willing to go to the natural next step of, therefore it should stop.
I don't know that much about it, but I do know that BP and Shell are on the board.
But Mr. Arkush, if you believed what you were saying, you would be willing to call for it to stop. You're not, and that suggests you know damn well what it is they're training the judges, and it's indoctrination, and you don't want it to stop because you want the judges to be biased and rule in favor of these crackpot theories. Now,
I disagree
General
that
Kobach,
BP and Shell are on the board of an organization.
isn't it true?
Judges against them.
Mr. Arkush, your time is done.
Thank you.
Isn't it true that these programs, often hosted in conjunction with the Federal Judicial Center or the National Judicial College, can obscure ethics disclosure requirements because they fall under judicial exemption categories?
Yeah, I think, Chairman, you're correct. There are definite ethical problems, and in addition to the overarching sort of federal model of ethics, you also have additional state ethical rules that may be violated as well. But at the end of the day, it's judicial neutrality that is the biggest ethical constraint on our entire Article III courts and state courts, and that is the biggest problem I see going into any case.
It's also been reported that the Chief Justice of the Hawaii Supreme Court participated in these sessions at the same time that his court was reviewing one of these climate lawsuits. So active litigation, and yet happily being indoctrinated by interested parties in an ex parte setting where the opposing counsel had no opportunity to refute the indoctrination. Mr. Walter, the Climate Judiciary Project tells judges that climate lawsuits are a, quote, unique opportunity for accountability. Would you call that education, or would you call that political indoctrination disguised as training?
Accountability is the standard term used by political activists to try to say we want to hurt those folks that we're opposed to.
Do you believe Congress should investigate whether these trainings are undermining the impartiality of the judiciary?
Absolutely, Senator.
Thank you. Senator Whitehouse.
Guys, I'm telling you guys, if this isn't exposing everything that is golly, so much that is going on. And again, too, it always boils down to other countries coming in, immigration, guys. This is why this is so important, because we have so many people that are trying to infiltrate our elections, America's elections, or trying to infiltrate and indoctrinate our judges and just sway how America operates. But this is so big, guys, because the Trump administration launched the first national citizenship verification system to help ensure only U.S. citizens vote. State officials can now check entire voter rolls against DHS and Social Security data before elections. And that is so important, because what you're about to see next, guys, it always goes back to the immigration crisis that we have 20 plus million illegals that came in over the last 4 years, spending hundreds of billions of dollars of your taxpayer dollars with no accountability. No one's been put in prison, nothing. But you're about to hear some big news of what's actually coming, and it is a win for America, baby. Check this out.
Senator Markwayne Mullin on that coming up next. Parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is that it includes all of the funding and resources that ICE needs to carry out the largest mass deportation operation in history. Our brave ICE officers who are under daily violent assault will finally have the tools and support that they need. Joining us now is Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. Certainly the major plus up for ICE and Homeland Security, but also the military. You're in armed services. Explain to us how that money is going to be used and what the military can do in support of that mission to close down the border.
Well, Jason, thank you, and thanks for having me on. Look, first of all, what we're going to do is actually complete the wall. The last time that President Trump started the wall, obviously you saw the Biden administration come in and just wreak havoc on it and sell the material at pennies on the dollar. So the first thing we're doing is we're actually putting this into law by putting $46 billion to finally complete the wall all the way across our southern border. The Marines' job is going to be there simply combating the cartels. They're not going to be arresting people. They're not going to be detaining people other than just backing up our border patrol because literally, unfortunately, the cartels are well funded and they have military weapons. They have military training. They have military vehicles that are on the border that that's actually outgunning and outmanning our border patrol. So they are a secondary force to prevent the cartels from coming in. At the same time, our border patrol is being plussed up. The immigration, a whole line of detainees to ICE, to the border, to the judges, to our immigration centers. They're all being plussed up, fully funded. And what it is a full deterrence. You saw last month, the numbers of June came out. Zero illegals were allowed to enter our country illegally. That is astounding compared to what we've been having the last 4 years.
Yeah, time I've spent on the border, one of the frustrating things is I saw the drug cartels and the human smuggling networks. They were using encrypted Chinese apps to do their communication. Right. And that's the kind of training and things that the military, along with the Border Patrol, it has to deal with, not only on the southern border, but also on the northern border. But it also has to do with human smuggling and dealing with the drug flow that comes across. We know where the fentanyl comes. It comes in large part from China through Mexico.
And Jason, let's not forget the water too. It's not just land crossings, but it's going across the water, going around. It's overwhelming. Our Coast Guard, the Marines are able to augment that. We're having to have a lot of more sea power that you probably wouldn't see when you're thinking of just human smuggling and drug smuggling. It's literally an all-out attack. This is why President Trump has made it a high priority. He is the guy who's going to save America from imploding from within. And the reason why I say that is because President Trump has made it a focus. And he's also trying to improve our diplomatic relationships with Mexico. He's offered to help send troops down to fight beside the army on our southern border and also to combat the cartels. It's being proactive. This is what peace through strength looks like, Jason. When you're not just sitting back playing whack-a-mole or just simply inviting them in like the Biden administration. President Trump is pushing forward, and he's making them pay a cost to even get close to either our northern and southern border. And you brought up a good point. Our northern border was something that we've overlooked. The cartels now have pivoted and have started coming across some very remote areas that we wasn't even paying attention to before. And you can see, I've been privileged to be able to see some of our classified briefings on this, and they're up in the air and night in thermals, and you're seeing a group of maybe 8 to 10 people walk a mile into the United States and turn around and go back. You can't tell they're dropping a pack, but you know they're dropping a pack. And then within minutes later, you'll see vehicles pull up to where they left and then took off. Sometimes you see them actually pick people up too. Fortunately, we have eyes on them and they're driving because of the heat signature they have. We're able to pick them up, but we're only getting a few. President Trump now has made it a focus to not just focus on the southern border, but our northern border too. And he is restoring law and order on our borders.
Guys, how impactful. Again, what we're seeing, everything. I mean, a lot of people in the chat, we talked about the southern border. A lot of people would say, yep, Joel, but don't forget the northern border. Don't forget Canada. And you are 100% right. Because again, too, there's so many things that if we do not pay attention to, guys, we will lose out every single time. And again, I go back to I hope you appreciate this, guys. We're trying to bring you all the breaking news that's happening with what's going on in America with just Trump's big, beautiful bill, the new legislation that is coming, Elon Musk's new America Party. But I want to show you this because this brings things into perspective. Ed Miller, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, keep up the great work reporting the truth to us. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Y'all show Ed some love in the chat. So Trump's big beautiful bill was nearly 1,000 pages. It had $3.4 trillion impact on the economy, and it was passed by just one Senate vote. Guys, the Senate breaking vote was J.D. Vance, our vice president. If we didn't have that vote, that bill would look very, very different than what it does today. So that's why when we show you how serious Elon Musk is about creating this new party, which we've shown you the receipts, guys. This is the formal FEC filing of the Statement of Organization for the America Party. This is not a joke. Everything will change moving forward. I'm telling you, at least for the next 20, 30 years, because you got to think, Elon Musk is only like 53, 54 years old, and the way that it's looking, he's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into politics, and he has said that he wants to eliminate the uniparty. And again, too, all of the things, everybody is attacking everybody, but Trump has his pit bulls who are fighting for him just like this, guys, because remember, there's so many battles going on, but in the midterms, it's going to be Republicans versus the America Party versus Democrats. But I want you to listen to this, because Trump is none of his people are backing down from giving the truth. Listen to this.
The Yale Budget Lab says the richest Americans will see their income rise by nearly 2%. The lowest earning Americans will see their income drop by 3% when factoring in cuts to Medicaid and food stamps. You argue that the benefits will really be aimed at the middle class. How does that square?
Well, Dana, first, let's have a look at the Yale Budget Lab, because I was looking at their findings, and this week I actually went on their website. They're all ex-Biden officials, so I think we can discount everything they say. I'd encourage all your viewers to look at the composition of both the board and the staff. And it's just not right that what we have here is a middle class and working class bill. That we are going to see wages accelerate, and we are going to see, just as we saw with President Trump's first tax bill, we are making permanent these tax cuts. And what happened in 2017, 2018 was the highest wage earners went from paying 37% of all taxes to 45%. So that's going to be permanent now. So permanently, the highest 10% will pay a higher percent of the taxes.
Wow, guys. Again, we bring you the facts. They're always trying to spin a dang lie when it comes to all of this, guys. But again, when we show you everything that is going on, because remember, we're keeping up with everything. A lot of the problems that we're facing today still goes back to who? The Biden administration. But we've got some huge things that are happening this week, guys, that again, when we start seeing people go to jail, we see that the Oversight Committee is not holding back, especially with James Comer. This is what we voted for. Check this out.
Chairman James Comer. Chairman, thanks so much for joining us here on Sunday Morning Futures. I say that because I used to be the chairman, so you're definitely ahead of Trey Gowdy. I can promise you that. Tell us, though, seriously, where are you at with this investigation? Tell us where you're at with this investigation and who's up next.
Dr. O'Connor is scheduled to come in Wednesday for a deposition. We asked him to come in, and he agreed to come in a few weeks ago. Then he declined it the night before. So I issued him a subpoena. We're serious about this investigation. You heard from President Trump on this show last week. This is something that he's very interested in. Pam Bondi has announced an investigation at the Department of Justice into the illegal use of the auto pen. So we're very interested. Dr. Dr. O'Connor's going to come in. We have a lot of questions about the health reports that he would issue to the American people about Joe Biden that I don't think anyone in America, including the most liberal person on MSNBC or the biggest Democrat in America, believes that Joe Biden was anywhere near as healthy as Dr. O'Connor would continuously publish. So we've been consulting with Ronnie Jackson, who's a member of Congress and who was President Trump's doctor during his first term in the White House. We have a lot of medical questions. We have a lot of legal questions for Dr. O'Connor. So he's going to have an opportunity Wednesday to come and tell the truth and explain how he continuously issued glowing reports of health from Joe Biden.
Tell us a little bit about Anthony Bernal. He's the former chief of staff to Jill Biden, the first lady. He was supposed to come in and chat with the committee as well.
Yeah, and that's another issue that we've had. He did not come in. What's happened, Jason, is President Trump waived executive privilege. And what we think was going to happen when they all initially agreed to come in voluntarily was that they were going to plead executive privilege and not answer our questions. They don't have that. President Trump's waived it. They're going to have to answer our questions. And if they don't answer our questions, or if they don't show up for these transcribed interviews and depositions, then we will hold them in contempt of Congress. Our whole conference is united behind getting the truth to this. We want to know who was authorizing the use of the auto pen. We've brought in a witness already that's identified the inner circle. The witness that was actually putting in that was Neritan and that was putting in the documents into the auto pen. But she was never around Joe Biden. He never said, here's the documents, put it in. We're identifying that inner circle. Dr. Connor is obviously a big part of the equation because we believe, just as Jake Tapper has written, what we believe Jean-Pierre is going to write in her book, that there was a massive cover-up of Joe Biden's mental decline, and there was a select inner circle. And we believe Bernal, who was Jill Biden's chief of staff, was a major part of that inner circle. So we're going to give everybody their due process. They're going to be able to come in and explain. But the purpose of this investigation is the fact that there were many executive orders and many pardons that were signed with an auto pen. And as you have discovered, Jason, many of these were signed on days when Joe Biden was supposedly in the White House. Why couldn't he have signed it, his name right there? Why did they have to use an auto pen? And why was it such a secretive process? So there are major legal implications.
Guys, there's a problem when it comes to them saying it was a secretive process. Secretive being Joe Biden had no idea what was going on, and they had to keep it a secret from him over the actual auto pen signing that people were doing essentially on his behalf, even though he wasn't even involved, guys. This right here, again, gets me because, again, nobody has seen jail yet. Nobody has been charged yet, and that's what we're waiting for, and we're showing you guys these people. And I want to get these rhinos out if there are any, but I don't want people just to talk anymore. I want to see action, just like you. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Mr. Tracy J. Norby, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go, brother. OG of the channel. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat, everybody.
Of this investigation, and hopefully we'll be able to get the truth to the American people and hopefully do it in a very rapid manner.
Yeah, if I have the number right, my recollection is something like 75% of the auto pen signatures happened while President Biden was at the White House. Why would you need an auto pen if you're residing in the White House? That's a stunning.
Exactly,
Chairman. You're doing an amazing job getting after this. In the case of Anthony Bernal, didn't show up. Then he got issued a subpoena. Now he has to show up. So congratulations, sir. It's going to be that much more difficult.
Let's go. He has to show up. And guys, I want to show you this again too, Because again, when you think about what is coming that's going to change America forever, it's this New America Party. They've already put out some key policies on what the New America Party stands for. Reduce debt, allow only responsible spending, modernize the military with AI and robotics, push hard on the AI to win the tech race, cut regulations across the board, focus on energy, protect free speech, support pro-nationalism to raise birth rates. Elon Musk says we need to start having more babies. Look, guys, I've got 3 kids, so I think I've done my part. Hopefully that's enough by Elon Musk's standards, but these are the first big key policies that the America Party is going to stand for, guys. But remember, we also got big news that the America Party, one second, guys. The America Party is not intending, the America Party will not back a candidate for president in 2028, avoiding potential electoral disaster for Republicans in swing states. Super, super important, guys. So nobody, we don't want things to get too crazy, but we just want to make sure that you are fully informed with what's going on because of what is coming, guys. This is going to change so much. And again, Trump's victory has already changed a lot with what you're about to hear next. Check this out.
Well, almost, Congressman, behind the curtain. Took us on the steps up to and coming out of whatever happened behind the curtain. What can you tell us about these meetings with the president and how it helped change your vote?
Well, the President Trump was incredibly generous with his time, and so is Vice President J.D. Vance. So people don't bring him up, but he is a good closer. You know, there was 14 of us in the room at one time, and the president was just rapid fire taking questions from all of us, me included. And the thing you got to remember about President Trump is that you don't see with a lot of executives and people and big hitters, their egos overplay their hand, and it's the exact opposite with Trump. If he doesn't know the dadgum answer, you know what? He's going to ask somebody in the room that's there. He has the people there, so it's not a thing where you got to come back. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow, and then they never get back to you and kind of blow you off. Trump takes every question serious, and I'm always amazed, though, when I've met with President Trump, is just his ability to comprehend an issue and know the facts. And, you know, I've had a lot of people in this town lie to me, but Donald J. Trump is not one of them. Neither is J.D. Vance. They both straight shooters and tell me the truth. My daddy was an old World War II Marine. My mama flew an airplane during the Second World War, so I'm kind of partial to that straight talk, and I got it yesterday, and I got my answers. And, you know, another thing I want to say, too, a lot of people degrade the president about his language and how he cusses people and gets in their face. I've met with President Trump multiple times. I think I talked to him 3 or 4 times yesterday. Never raised his voice, never cussed me, never degraded me. He was informed, he got to the point, and that's why he's the world leader he is, and you can't beat him. You can't beat him with a stick, brother.
That's really interesting color on what those meetings were like behind the scenes, because he was trying to move you, Congressman, move you from a no to a yes. You weren't alone. You and I have talked at quite length on Will Kane Country. I know you're very concerned about debt and deficit, and I know that was a concern of yours. As it was, for example, with Congressman Chip Roy, who was with us yesterday and told me he was a no vote at that time. Now, since that time, he posted on X that he got assurances in this meeting. So can you tell me anything about that? What was said? What assurances were made that made you and, for example, Congressman Roy, move to a yes?
We're going down a rat hole with this so-called renewable or environmentally sound energy, this wind and solar. About 98% of wind power is made in China. The president is very informed on that, and you know, literally, I mean, he told me one time, he said, "Tim, more can come out of a hole out of the ground the size of both your fists than you'll ever get from one of those dadgum windmills." He never says dadgum, I say dadgum. Cheaper than cussing at my house. I don't have to put another dollar in the swear jar, but I got an IOU, a swear jar full of IOUs. But no, the issue was made pretty clear on things like that and where we were headed, and that investment is not repaying us. There's never been a major find about solar energy in over 20 years. And Trump realizes that, and he knows that it's a pig in a poke. It's throwing money down a dadgum rat hole is what it is. And he knows that what do we got in this country? We've got oil, we've got gas, we've got coal, and that's not a dirty word to him. And I'm very glad because a lot of Americans make their livings off of coal, and we can produce it and we can get it out of the ground. God put it there, dadgummit, we ought to get it out. And also nuclear. I'm not afraid of nuclear. Right. It's the safest energy in the world. Oak Ridge National Laboratory backs up to my house. Tennessee Valley Authority. Small nuclear reactors. He's got Lee Zeldin in his corner at the EPA that's permitting these things. In the past, it takes 6 to 8 years to get some of these refineries and plants. Lee's doing it in just a matter of days. Man, he's got the A-team on there. And yeah, I'm worried about spending. I'm always, the Pentagon, the war pimps over there. I'm not a fan of that. Old men make decisions and young men die. I've got an 18-year-old daughter. I do not want to see her in another war. But you know what? That gummit, Trump, he delivered. Iran, we're not putting boots on the war. If Joe Biden was in the office right now, we'd be sending troops over there.
I understand a little more about
guys, and this is so big again. I show you this right here, that whenever it comes to America First policies, Trump, there's never been anybody better, guys. Never been anybody better than Trump on putting America first. And this is one of the biggest things that is coming out. President Donald Trump wants to eliminate taxes for anyone making less than $150,000 a year. Guys, this is the game changer that no other president, no other Democrat has put forth. I believe Trump can get it done with the External Revenue Service. Let me know your thoughts, because this would literally change everything. Want to say, guys, if you are watching and you're not subscribed, if you don't mind joining our family, hitting that subscribe button, guys. We want to bring the truth. We want to continue growing this community, guys, and we couldn't do it without you. Want to say, if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. So much is going on, guys, and I'm telling you, we just got this new filing of the New America Party by Elon Musk, the richest guy in the world, net worth of over $400 billion. Guys, things are insanely going to change. We're going to show you the truth. We're going to show you all the context to make sure you are fully informed. Want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, guys. We couldn't do without you. To all of our members of the channel, to all those that support our channel by liking the videos, sharing the videos. Remember, when you give to this channel, whether it's a super chat or you're a member, we give this money on it to a local charity on the 22nd of every single month. Guys, to a local charity. And this month, it's going to be to a local children's home, where these kids who ain't got nothing, they've got us, and we're going to support them financially, guys, and we do it transparent, fully transparent. You see me on screen do it. I show you the receipt, guys, because we want to change lives for the good. And I want to give some special love to those that have given, guys. Denise Clark Custom Art, thank you so much for the super chat today. Lay Lewis, thank you for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Mr. Tracy J. Norby for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. The Lazy Gardener, Gator Girl, welcome to the family. Ed Miller, Mr. Tracy J. Norby again for the super chat, guys. Show them some love in the chat. If we're not seeing just so much change in our world nowadays, I don't know what's going on when it comes to what we see on the left-wing media outlets, because they continue to spit out lies. But you come here because we show you the truth, we bring the receipts, and we serve you. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.